This is Contemporary Chinese, Volume 2, Lesson 4, Dialogue 2. And so now we get to meet Xiao Zhang, who is this very pretty, talented girl that we talked about in the first dialogue. And they're having her birthday party. And so Gao Yifei says, 祝你生日快乐. 祝你生日快乐. And we talked about that in the lecture today. So whenever you want to wish somebody something, like wish them good health, wish them happy birthday, wish them happy Christmas, then you can use the verb 祝. And 生日快乐, I think we covered in the lecture today. That's pretty straightforward. Birthday, happy. So 生日 being birthday. 小张 says 谢谢. And then Ma Ding says, 这是我送给你的一件小礼物，你属龙，送你一条玉龙。So, this is not a 是的 construction, okay? 这是我送给你的. It's not a 是的 construction. This is simply saying, this is a small gift. So 一件小礼物. And if you can't remember 一件, you can just simply say 一个小礼物 that I am giving you. 这是我送给你的一件小礼物。你属龙 So you were born in the year of the dragon. 送你一条玉龙 So I'm giving you a jade dragon. So 一条龙 is the measure word for 龙. If she was 属蛇, I'll just write that down there for you. Going to Chinese first. 属蛇, which is snake, then you would use the same measure word. So if it was a jade snake, it would be 送你一条玉蛇. So Xiao Zhang says, 哎呀，你太客气了，谢谢. So this first part, this 哎呀, of course, I'm sure you've heard many times before, is an expression of surprise. 你太客气了. So literally saying you're too polite, and that's a good thing to say when somebody gives you a gift or pays you a compliment. To say that you're too polite. Thank you. 来，咱们吃蛋糕吧. So here's that 咱们. She could have said 我们吃蛋糕吧, because by the looks of the picture, there's no one else in the room. Although I would say, because Gao Yifei, no, not Gao Yifei, Ma Ding at this point is the one that gave her the gift, and the way the conversation has gone, if she'd said 我们吃蛋糕, but it could have sounded a little bit like her and Ma Ding, who just gave her the present. And so by using 咱们, she's including everyone that's here, even those that were too cheap to give her a present. I mean, no, anyhow. Then Ma Ding says, 你看蛋糕上写的是什么? So that again is literally what it says. Look. 蛋糕上 on the cake 写的是什么? 写的. So the whole thing is literally, look, what's written on the cake? And really here, in a way, what's implied is 写的字是什么? So sorry, did it again. 蛋糕上写的字是什么? But by leaving out the 字, it could also potentially be 词 word. Okay. The format 蛋糕上写的是什么 leaves it open to interpretation as to what is written in terms of whether it's a character or characters or whether it's words. So that's the way they do it, by not specifying 写的 whatever the thing is. They don't specify. Gao Yifei then says, 这不是生日快乐4个字吗？这不是生日快乐4个字吗？ So this is an interesting way of expressing things. 这不是生日快乐4个字吗？ So that 不是 and ma form one expression, if you like, or one structure. And if you look down here at your notes, down here, they explain that it's a rhetorical question. So it's not actually asking a real question, it's actually making a statement, but in question form, and saying, well, surely it's now, surely it's what? And this is an interesting translation problem here. 生日快乐4个字. So if you were to translate directly, isn't it happy birthday 4 characters? Now, that doesn't make sense because happy birthday is not 4 characters. 生日快乐 is 4 characters. So you need to think about how you would translate that. Particularly if you're doing like a professional job. So whether it would be, isn't it happy birthday 2 words, or isn't it 2 words, happy birthday? Or you could say, isn't it 生日快乐 4 characters? Or you could just simply say, isn't it happy birthday? So the 4个字 for the Chinese is important. I mean, I guess they could say, 这不是生日快乐嘛? But generally speaking, they would always follow it with 4个字. If it was more than 4个字, it was more than 4 characters, they'd say a larger number. So then Ma Ding says, oh, 生日快乐, 小张, 祝你越来越漂亮, 越来越年轻, 今年20, 明年18. So here this it's interesting. I'm not sure whether he wasn't able to read it. Now he goes, oh, I understand, or whether he's suddenly thought of something new, and then he goes on to say what that is. He has a new thought. If it's the latter of the two, where he has a new thought, the other thing that we learned in our previous lesson was if he said, 对了, and then, whatever it was he wanted to say. So he goes on and he says, 小张祝你越来越漂亮. So we talked about it in the lecture. So wishing you to become prettier and prettier. So there's the 越来越, okay, followed by the adjective 越来越漂亮. Okay, so more often than not, these are well, no, that's not true. I was going to say they're followed by some kind of adjective, but you could also say 我越来越喜欢你. You could follow it by a verb. I like you more and more. I think we had that example in the lecture when we went through the grammar. 越来越年轻. So I'm not only wishing that you become prettier and prettier, I also wishing that you become younger and younger. 越来越年轻. So here's our adjective again. And then he says something rather strange. 今年20, 明年18. And again, if you have a look down at your notes, they explain that. This year you're 20, but next year you'll be 18. And apparently it's a reference to a well-known advertisement. You're getting younger and younger and more beautiful. I have to say, I have searched for that advertisement on the internet for years, and I've never been able to find it. So if any of you happen to come across this Chinese advertisement, which possibly could have been 10, 20 years ago, please let me know, because I've been searching and I've never found it. So it's just a nice thing to say to somebody, particularly at their birthday. Then Li Qi says, 今年马丁的汉语说得特别流利. Okay, so this comes back to our verb plus complement. And I mean, here it's both, I guess, I would say, an evaluation of how good his Chinese is, and possibly also extent or degree. So, to what extent or degree he speaks well. Although, if you really wanted to talk about extent, you know, say of how fluent he was, you would say, and this is a strange one. Let me type it out for you because you won't see this in our texts, in this textbook, I don't think. But so it would be 今天马丁的汉语说的流利的说的流利的 well, okay, this is an expression that you guys haven't learned yet. 不得了. Okay, so I guess what I'm just trying to illustrate this is here that we've got 说的, and then we've got, which is a verb, and then we've got 流利, which is an adjective, and both verbs and adjectives can take this de plus a complement form, but it's interesting how the 流利的不得了 has become the complement for the 说的, but 流利的不得了 has its own complement, which is oh, it's not working for some reason. Oh, okay, I see why, because I can't go over the top of that. Anyhow, don't stress about this too much, but you will occasionally come across sentences where you've got, you know, a verb plus the connecting word for a complement, and then the complement is made up of an adjective plus a complement. Anyhow, so in this case, the other thing I want you to notice here is what Li Qi could have said was 马丁说汉语说的. So he could have left out the de, right? And he could have, in theory, I'll just move that down there. He could have there said 说汉语说的特别流利. And when we went through the grammar notes, we talked about the fact that you can, there's another form where you don't have to repeat the verb, and this is an example. 今天马丁的汉语说的特别流利. You could also say 今天马丁汉语 leave out the de. 今天马丁汉语说的特别流利. But regardless, the point that you have to remember, guys, is here 说 is as a verb, and the complement always comes after the verb, and it's connected with this de. Ma Ding then goes and says, 我呀酒喝得越多汉语说得越流利. I think from memory, is Ma Ding Australian? I don't know, but he sounds like a bit of a I can't even think of the right word. But anyhow, because here it almost sounds like he's boasting a little bit. He says 酒喝得越多. So the more I drink, so here's my verb, and then here is my predicate complement. Okay, so just grabbing my pen back there. Okay, 酒喝得越多，汉语就说得越流利. So actually I should highlight the year. Anyhow, so there's my yue and my yue. But you notice how the two yues are in completely different clauses, okay, and they're related to two different things, even though those things are connected. So 酒喝得越多, the more alcohol I drink, 汉语就说得越流利. The more fluent, 越流利, the more fluent I speak Chinese. 汉语就说得越流利. So that's really combining up this 越 followed by an adjective, 越 followed by another adjective. It's combining that with our verb plus complement, and the same thing here, verb plus complement. So it's, you can see how these things can be combined to make quite sophisticated statements. Then Xiao Zhang says, 我明白了，你的意思是, and again in the lecture today, I think we said that 明白了 means when suddenly, sorry, not when suddenly, it doesn't have to be sudden. When something is clear to you, or you understand something, 我明白了. And the 了 here is, this is a clarity or an understanding that she's just had. So there's been a change. 你的意思是, what you mean is, and then Li Qi chimes in, 他还想再喝一杯. So he still would like to again 再喝一杯. 再喝一杯. I think you guys have worked this out already now, haven't you? That the 再 is really useful when you put it before a verb, when you want to express the repeating of an action. So here they're kind of like, I don't know, teasing him a little bit. And then Ma Ding, being the dag he is, says, 好吧,来,干杯. And if you recall, 干杯 literally means dry cup. And in China, I think many of you will have seen this, when you ganbei, I think I'm on camera now, I can't see myself, but anyhow, you scull everything in the glass down in one gulp, and then you you hold the glass out and you turn it, oops, down here, turn it upside down so that people can see there's no alcohol in there.